Hi, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Liv.
And this is the Mach-E vlog. Today, Ford made some announcements about the Mach-E price as well as some production numbers for 2023. So we're going to talk about both of those.
So let's go. The last video that we released was on the Tesla price decreases. Now that video was actually suggested / requested by someone in the comments. We love hearing from you guys. We love getting your input. So we decided to make that video over the weekend. We edited it really quickly and then we were about to release it when bam! Ford released news about the price decreases on the Mach-E. So we kind of spliced that into our last video, but we really wanted to make this a dedicated video all about that to give it its time and the spotlight, because this is a big deal, isn't it?
Definitely. So if you haven't heard, it's probably all over the news, but a lot of people were carrying this information. But Ford basically, in response to Tesla cutting their prices, they said it was, in response to the market, which we know the market is sort of defined by Tesla, that they would be, one, increasing their production, and two, decreasing their prices, which is, both of those are great news if you want to get a Mach-E this year.
And when he says this year, he does mean this year, because Ford also said that any Mach-E that was acquired since January 1st, 2023 will also receive the same pricing.
Yeah, I thought this was like huge, a little detail, but actually a huge importance for those people that just got their Mach-E. If you got your Mach-E January 2nd through today and you paid the old price, they said that basically you're going to get the new price. But I know a lot of you are probably interested in all the pricing differences. So we're going to dive into that first, and then we'll get into like production numbers and everything. So first of all, the prices weren't decreased evenly across the board. We'll put those numbers up now and we'll talk about those. As you can see, the Select models, they got a moderate, very small price decrease of less than $1,000. The California Route 1 and the GT, both of those got pretty decent price decreases, and the Premium sort of in between, just under $4,000 for the rear-wheel drive standard range. As you can see, what this means is the Select rear-wheel drive standard range went from $46,895 down to $45,995. The Select all-wheel drive standard range is now $48,995.
The California Route 1 extended range went from mid-$63,000 to $57,995. And the Premium rear-wheel drive standard range is now $50,995, and the all-wheel drive is just $3,000 more, $53,995.
And of course, the GT, it only comes in extended range, but it is now $63,995. That's a pretty big price drop on the GT.
That one looks really nice, to be honest, because before it basically looked like $70,000. And now it looks like it's close enough to say almost $50,000 something.
Yeah. A couple of things to note. On the Premium, you can select whether you want a standard range or extended range battery. The extended range battery went from $8,600 down to $7,000. That's still a big number, and we'll get back to the federal tax credit in a little bit, but that will push the Premium outside of being eligible for the tax credit as it stands right now. And the GT performance package, it's $6,000. It stays at $6,000. And one little note that the Night Pony package did not get a price reduction either. So I mentioned the federal tax credit, and there's a lot of controversy right now because of the way that the IRS is interpreting what is a SUV versus what is a car. The Mach-E is being classified as a car by the IRS. As much as I want to debate that, that's what it stands right now with the IRS. The IRS is looking for feedback on that rule. So I'll put a link down in the description if you want to give your feedback and say, hey, look, this is an SUV. And the reason why that makes a big difference is with the 2023 tax credit, as it stands right now, cars are eligible for the tax credit up to $55,000, and SUVs are eligible up to $80,000. So because the Mach-E is classified as a car, that cutoff is at $55,000, which means like if you get a Premium and you add in the extended range battery, that'll push it up well over the 55,000, so it won't get the tax credit. So not only do you pay for the additional range, the extended range battery, you lose the tax credit. So if you're counting on getting that full thing, it's basically cost you like $14,000, $14,500 to get the additional range battery, which is really bad. Hopefully the IRS makes some modifications to the rule. Some people are taking a gamble. They're basically just saying like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do and then hope that the IRS figures it out by the end of the year. That's up to you. We're not going to give you any financial advice, but we're sort of just trying to like give you like what the numbers are and what it means. So, going back to the list of Mach-E models, basically the select and the premium standard range models will still get the tax credit. The California Route 1 and the GT won't, and the extended range versions of the premium won't get it either. So do with that as you will.
If you have a current order, they will be updating your order to the new pricing. So yay, congratulations you. That must be really exciting. Like we said before, if you ordered from January 1st to now, you will...
Took delivery.
Or took delivery, yeah, from January 1st to now, of course. Then you will be getting the new pricing. Now, I feel like if I took delivery in December, I'd personally want to call or harass some people and ask. I mean, I don't know what you want to do, but I would personally probably do that.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Feels a little unfair
to get a company to give you a retroactive price reduction. They also said that it's sort of not exactly clear how they're going to handle it, because if you bought a car at $55,000 and now it's $50,000, you pay taxes on $55,000. So I don't know if it's going to be a straight, we're going to give you a check for everything back and update the sales tax. I don't think they're allowed to do that. So I don't think it's going to be an exact, like you're getting the brand new price or the new pricing and you're going to come out all square, especially if you have financing and those type of things. I think it's going to be a little bit tricky. Ford said they're going to be directly reaching out to customers to give them a private offer. So I'm sure there's some wiggle room in there. Who knows? I'm not sure of anything really when it comes to that.
If you are like dealing with Ford right now, we would love to hear about your experience. If you have any insight to share, I think you're probably right that is a big deal, that now we're in the new tax year. So there's probably not that much they could do for people prior, which almost makes it feel like this could have been an intentional thing, but we know it's not. We know why this happened.
Yeah, this is definitely, our other video was sort of talking about all of the confusion and the uncertainty in the current EV market. And there's a lot of things taking place. There's some people in Congress that are trying to like slightly modify the rules. There's some people in Congress that want to get rid of all of the EV tax credit. There's some pressure to change the IRS rule interpretation. And then in March, there's going to be another round of rules released that's talking about the battery composition, as well as like where the components of the battery come from, but where it's also made. And that could mean that the Mach-E and others could lose the $7,500 tax credit, may only get half of it, may get none of it. We don't know. So there's more changes coming. The best advice is to look at your own financial situation, and the sooner you can take possession of the Mach-E, the better. If you have one on order, I know that's beyond your control, but try to get it all taken care of. The other thing that is going to sort of help with some of this stuff, the Mach-E is going to be, the production is being increased. I think this is really great news for a lot of people. I just checked, the wait times are still like 20 weeks for a Mach-E. So if you order one today, it'll take like 20 weeks for you to get it. And that's just average. Some people will take a little bit less, some people way longer. And that's, right now they're making about 78,000 Mach-E's at the Mexico plant. And those Mach-E's are slated for, Canada, the US, Europe. There's a plant in China that makes Mach-E's only for the Chinese market. But down in Mexico, they're making 78,000 a year as of today. And Ford is saying they're going to increase that, so the run rate will be 130,000 Mach-E's coming out of that plant. I'm guessing that means they're adding, first of all, another production line or another shift at the production facility. But they also said that they will have more materials available, which basically we know one of the biggest holdups is the batteries. So And then again, we mentioned this in our other video, there's also talk that the Mach-E is going to be the first EV from Ford that's going to have the LFP batteries. And basically, that's right now it has a lithium ion battery. They're going to offer an option to have a lithium iron phosphate battery. Slight differences. One of the big things is that you can charge that battery up to 100%. Generally, you get a little bit less range out of an LFP battery, so there is a little bit of difference in that. We don't know any of that information or when it's coming. Ford is saying it will be this year, and they're expecting maybe a 10% price difference, price decrease of the battery itself. So what that translates into Mach-E price, who knows, but that's coming as well. But then again, as I said, the tax credits are changing. So anyways, I think that's about it with the actual news from Ford. What else we got to talk about?
Yeah, I was just thinking, like my feelings, I'd love to hear your feelings about this, but my feelings about all of this is like, I'm very excited, right? We want this to trend towards all EVs becoming cheaper. The fact that Tesla made that push, made the price slash, which then incited Ford to make these price slashes. And maybe we'll be seeing that elsewhere, and maybe we'll see it affect the used market like we talked in our previous video. But we've seen comments from people who are now debating what vehicle to get. And I think I will speak for likely the both of us that we don't have any brand allegiance. We want you to find the right EV for you. We love our Mach-E. We love to hear about whatever EV you love. And if you are questioning your order of a Mach-E now because of the price, even with the price adjustment, it's okay. You can question that. This is a big decision. It's a lot of money. Make the right decision for you. Don't feel like you have to get one or the other because of what anyone says. Do what's right for you and make the right financial decisions for you. And yeah, it's really weird right now. Things are changing a lot. So we're going to try keep updating you on those things, but know that what you choose, it doesn't matter to us. It matters to you. So make your best decision, and we'd love to hear about it either way. If you get a Model Y, awesome. Tell us all about it and tell us what you called it, you know?
Yeah, this is, we invite you to go check out our other video. It was more about like an EV price war starting before Ford made this announcement. It looks like we are, going down that route. Ford says that they will be responding to the market conditions, that they don't want to be undersold. A lot of people are saying Tesla has some big margins, so that gives them a lot of flexibility. The advantage that Ford has is that they have a lot of other vehicles in their lineup. The gas-powered F-150 makes them a ton of money, and they may lose a little bit of money on the Mach-E potentially. They did mention that some of their models now that they're selling are they're not profitable for Ford. So they're actually going to be losing some money on some Mach-E's that they're selling this year, but they can make up with the volume of F-150s that they are selling. So that can't last forever, and price wars can be very dangerous for companies to get into. But as of today, it's a win for you as a consumer. So let us know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Ford can win a price war? Are you excited about these price decreases? One of the things we didn't mention, I didn't want to get into all the numbers, but we all know that the Mach-E price was increased for 2022, and then it was increased for 2023, and then now it's back down a little bit, but those decreases don't match all of the increases. So it's gone up, down, or whatever. So I don't know. There's a lot to consider. We want to hear what you guys think, and hopefully we can provide you with some more good info down the road.
Yeah, and just by the way, I know you said, will Ford win? I hope that we win as the consumer, because that's what we want, cheaper EVs, right? So on that note, thank you so much for joining us for this catch up as we disclosed our thoughts and all the clarity around this price adjustment. Let us know your thoughts down below. Big thank you to our patrons for supporting this channel. You guys are everything to us. And just remember that whatever you drive, whether it costs $7,500 more or less, or whether it's a SUV or a car or whatever, enjoy the ride. Bye.